这样的水啊，带来的是福祉，而不是灾害，对吧？因为每年这个水带来的大量的鱼啊，同时带来水里带来的好多营养，这营养沉淀下来变成肥沃的土壤。
Then in the 1980s, all over the world, farmland disappeared, and cities built high concrete defences against their rivers. The consequences were damaging in many places. You saw what happened in Jinhua.
为了防20年雨的、50年雨的，甚至200年雨的这个洪水，结果这个条河道失去了它的生命，人跟城市，然后人跟水的关系，城市跟水的关系，就被这种粗暴的防洪设施、粗暴的水利工程给割断了。给打破了，这种和谐关系被打破了。
我来了，这个水刚退，效果不错。
好啊，好啊。
Worse still, these concrete anti-flood defences didn't work very well. More than 100 Chinese cities, including Jinhua, suffer serious periodic flooding, leading to disruption and economic losses. The sponge city design offers a solution. And it works like this. First, natural wetlands are protected. Second, concrete flood walls are replaced with earth terraces cut into the riverbanks, where native plants are cultivated.
向农民学习，像农民种地一样，梯田。中国的梯田实际上是涵养水源、自流水的一个最好的方法，把水流慢下来，让水能够有机会，是吧？减小它的冲力，是吧？然后让水能够渗下来，把水的营养物质，就是所谓的污染物、富营养的这些物质能够沉淀下来，让生物可以在这生长。
These plants act in the same way a sponge does.
它先把水吸收起来，然后在吸收完了以后，它能够慢慢的渗出来，然后能够在这慢的过程中把水净化了。这去年来是很小啊，
差不多7、8公分，有这么大。
对，
反倒水一淹，长得更快。
这洪水这有肥料啊。
Here at Jinhua, Yu has added his own spin to the sponge city idea. A network of elegant and playful walkways and bridges means visitors can enjoy Sparrowtail Island, whether the river is low or in flood.
大雨这个水也是直接从下面走。
The fact that people no longer fear the river but see it as something to be enjoyed is key to the success of the sponge city concept.
燕尾中公园就是这么一个试验地，经过2年实验，经过2年的这个洪水的这个经历，我们可以看到它可以人跟水可以重新回到和谐的状态。
Today's visit has a special focus. Seasonal rains have just ended. Yu has come to see how well the sponge city concept worked, if Sparrowtail Island stood up to the challenge of flooding.
是吧？这个开裂了。
对，这个
材料不行。
它材料本身还行，就是表面那个漆啊。
Sparrowtail Island is a landmark example of how a city can, as Yu puts it, make friends with the flood. But Yu's aim is to change hearts and minds throughout China.
我这个理想就是要形成一个海绵国土，不光是一个海绵的城市，要回到，是吧？我小时候的那种梦想，小时候所经历的那种人跟自然和谐的、人跟水和谐的这种状态，能够通过海绵系统的这个理念，能够彻底的改善。因为海绵的概念，它是一种哲学，一种生态文明的一个哲学。
Kongjian is a visionary. For years, he was pushing his radical ideas with little success.
因为开始没有人认识的，没有人认同，都是反对声压倒这个赞成的声音。
Now, the Sponge City concept is being trialled by the government in 16 pilot cities. And the plan is that by 2030, 80% of China's floodwater will be absorbed and reused, thanks to Sponge City projects. All these architect designers are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, blazing a trail with new ideas, new ways of working, and new materials. As a consequence, they need to be on site frequently to troubleshoot before the design is completed. For the past 6 months, an ambitious building has been rising up in the heart of Shenzhen's electronic wonderland. From computers to cameras and from modems to mobiles, this is the electronic capital of China. This twisting maze of streets is called Huaqiang Bay, and it's a place Shenzhen-based architecture firm Urbanus have wanted to work in for a while.
那么正是它的这种活力，使我们在这么多年来一直在关注这个地区的这种演进。大家通过它穿过去，那么甚至它中间这个很大的通道，那么也是由于我们在现场这个研究发现的这个人流量是非常巨大的，一天10几万的人流量要通过这个地。
Amidst this river of people, Urbanus have designed the Jungian Building, and it encapsulates everything this architectural firm represents.
中建大厦这个项目也是一个可以说是非常都市实践的项目，就是它是从问题出发的。
First up, the site was small and hemmed in by other buildings.
那么这栋房子呢，这个业主的要求也是不能把它，第一不能拆掉它，第二呢又不能打扰它里头的生意，就是在整个的设计建造过程当中，这个房子是仍然在运作的，所以这个是一个巨大的一个挑战。
The team addressed this first problem with their unusual design. The Jungian Building cantilevers over the pre-existing buildings, encasing them within a new structure. The second challenge was the design brief. The building had to include a hotel, car park, restaurants, and more shops. This would bring even more people into this congested area. The team needed to find a way to keep the river of people flowing.
如果我们只是把一个作为建筑盖在那里的，可能这些人就通不过去了。那我们把中间挖了一个很大的通道，使人穿过去。
This passageway became the heart of the Jungian concept. Rising from it, the team designed a web of high-level walkways to channel people through the building. These walkways connect to exterior bridges, linking Jungian to surrounding buildings. Human highways in the sky.
它并不是简单的给人看的一个东西，所以它在这个里面其实它有很强的一个复合性。
Meng oversees this project with architect Liu Xiaodu. Their next phase of construction concerns the futuristic tiles which envelop the building, a curtain wall that acts as a breathable membrane.
这些都完了，
这些做完了，但是还有一个清洁的一个过程，因为上面还有一些小的。
This finishing touch makes the whole building look like a giant computer chip sitting in the heart of this electronic district. The team have come down today to see if the heart of their design, the walkways, are working in practice.
到现场我们会来很多。作为建筑师的话，其实要，很多时候要检查图纸的设计和实际现场的建造。
These high-level bridges will act as arteries, bringing people to and from the Jungian Building, easing congestion in this busy area.
现在你看到这个上面这个桥，要跨过这个现在这个建筑，然后再下来。
For Meng, a successful building is one that works together with the other buildings in the city, like part of a living thing.
它在城市里的是一个机器，是一个城市的一个器官。
And they will only discover if this new organ in Shenzhen's body really works when the Jungian Building is open to the public.
我觉得一个建筑只有当就是真正投入使用，有真的人使用它的时候，其实它的生命才刚刚开始。
Yansong continues his exploration of how to bring natural forms and nature itself into architecture.
我一直觉得建筑和景观是不能分开的，这是现代科学把它强行分开，建筑和城市，然后和景观。
Recently, Ma Yansong got the chance to demonstrate exactly what he means in Harbin. Known as the music capital of the north, the city of Harbin decided it needed a bigger stage for its summer music festival.
一般很多的在中国城市里的这种文化建筑啊，都成了一个新城市形象，就是标志性的一个建筑。
Harbin wanted to raise its profile at home and abroad. They invited Ma to design a cultural center worthy of their ambition.
我觉得这个是哈尔滨这个城市应该面对的一个挑战。这个剧院，应该建立起一种新的形象。
The location for this landmark building is here in Harbin's wetlands, north of the Songhua River. Construction in this fragile ecosystem would require sensitivity. Ma's Beijing team got to work to realize his dream.
我们的设计希望把当代的市民生活、当代的建筑语言和自然和艺术变成一个整体的体验。在哈尔滨，我们就希望把自然和艺术作为一个非常重要的这种融合体，一个体验。
His concept in pure white aluminium would unify Harbin with its surrounding landscape.
我们设计的这个建筑就像一个雪山一样，好像一个从地面慢慢长起来的一个建筑。所以这个建筑可以说是一个大地景观，或者是让人有参与感的一个文化建筑。
Ma and his team worked on a collection of venues surrounding the Grand Theatre. But as the plans became more ambitious, concern grew that the balance was being tipped in favor of the development and away from the surrounding wetlands. Nobody wanted that to happen, so Ma contacted China's most eminent landscape architect.
当时我一看这个问题，实际上就出在放了太多的建筑。非常讽刺意义的啊！原来是因为喜欢这地方好，喜欢这里的湿地，喜欢这里的柳树，所以要把建筑放在这，来烘托它的建筑，把原来很好的一个景观，变成一个全部是建筑堆满了，实际上是破坏了，杀鸡取卵，必然会导致这个湿地的消失。
In order to preserve the wetland, Kongjian suggested keeping the roads to a minimum and drastically scaling back the size of the construction.
所以一举两得啊，一举两得，就是大剧院这个文化的功能，其他建筑都取消，这样的话，大部分湿地能够保留。
Balance restored, planning granted, the construction was finally able to begin.
我跟他合作，我觉得。有一种共鸣吧，就是我希望建筑是长在景观里边的，他希望景观是从建筑延续出来的。
It might not be as vast a complex, but Ma Yansong will ensure concert goers will experience just as big a thrill. Outside, his signature organic style is already taking shape. Such an ambitious design is hard to carry off. So Ma must visit every month to deal with the many problems that arise on the ground.
今天我们看到的这已经是，都是经过好几年的研究，我们看到一个实际的东西了。然后我们 今天我们再来看，它是确认它没有问题。我不希望当这个建筑大家使用以后，又过几年以后会出现什么问题。
Today, he's especially concerned about the external tiles that give his design its distinctive look. Achieving the colour he'd imagined for the outside of the building is proving more difficult than he'd originally thought.
我原来设计的是一个非常雪白色的建筑，我希望它在冬天的时候跟这个周围的大地融成一片，像雪山一样。然后我发现有一些金属板，它的颜色有色差。 像这种呢，是有点深的这种，不发黄，但是有点深。你看这几块。
是个别的可以调一调，如果说连成片的，这就容易出问题。
这个工艺以前从来没有过，对，是我们希望